Hey everyone, welcome to TMI, Too Much Information with Moondog. And today is not going to be a live show, but as you can see here, if you are watching this live, you can make comments on the side chat, so please do so. I'm not going to be here to answer your questions, but I'm sure if you have any questions about what's going on or any general questions, if you ask it, some of the other folks who are watching live could answer for you. And of course, after the show is over, you can always post comments at the bottom and I will be able to answer it then. I'm doing a pre-record today, one, because of our special guest. I do have a special guest today to talk about the LA ComicCon, and she wasn't available to do a live stream at the time. Also, once a month, I have to do a pre-record just because I'm not available on one Wednesday night every month because I've got a Knights of Columbus Dad's Club meeting. But I still have a lot of stuff I want to share with you guys. So let's get started. Before we do get started with the show, I just want to plug this episode sponsor, Aura, which has been a long-time sponsor of this show. They are an online cybersecurity company that I use to help protect me on the web with a VPN, credit monitoring, spam blockers. And also, they offer you $1 million of identity theft insurance included with your membership. And also, you can use their data broker removal service. It's all of these different services. You usually have to pay, use a bunch of different services to get each of these individual services. But here, you can just for one low monthly fee, you get all the services bundled together. Get yourself removed from these data brokers. That way you can these are the people that buy and sell our contact information, our email addresses, our physical addresses, our phone numbers. And that's the reason we get so much spam in the first place. But you can have yourself removed from all of these data broker removal databases using Aura. And if you use my link that you see there and the QR code, or just go to aura.com/moondog and you can try them out for free, absolutely free for 14 days. So try them out. Let me know how they work for you. All right. So early bird clue. Today I'm going to be giving away, and let me just bring this up here. I'm going to be giving away a Burris Fast Fire patch. Or your choice. You can have a Burris Fast Fire patch, or you could have an EVIC flag patch. But I'm giving away 4 Burris Fast Fire patches, or 4 patches, to the winner. So all you have to do is answer the quiz question. And this is going to be different since it is not a live show. Today, I'm not asking you to post the correct answer in the side chat. But what you can do is you can email me the correct answer. And you just email it to contest@moondogindustries.com. Put on the subject line the correct answer. In this case, which company is this? This should be fairly obvious from the logo, which company I'm talking about. So put hashtag and the answer is the subject line. And for the content of the email, just put your mailing address so I can mail you your patch. So the first 4 correct answers will be getting a patch today. Just let me know if you want a Burris Fast Fire patch or a EVIC patch, and I'll be happy to send that out to you. And so for those of you who tuned in early, you could immediately see who the answer is. This is a comic book company. If you know who this is, just need 2 letters, and then you'll win a patch. Okay, so let's get into the new videos, and I'll do this pretty quickly. Usually, I'll show you a teaser video, a teaser short from this, but today I'm just going to let you know that I posted on my Moondog 2A channel. I posted an ammo review with a SK rifle match, and this is the first video I think I've posted in a long while, in a dog's age, where I'm testing out actual match grade ammo, or at least what people consider to be high-end match grade ammo, and by that. This is ammo, in this case, 22 caliber long rifle ammo that has been exactly produced, and they do a lot of extra quality control of the batches of ammo so that they're much more consistent than regular standard plinking ammo. And it comes with a premium price, by the way, because you could get a box of 50 rounds of CCI standard velocity for anywhere between $6 to $8 in my local area. But a box of SK long range match ammo is about $22 or somewhere thereabouts. So quite a considerable jump in terms of price, but that comes that extra price comes because the match grade ammo purportedly shoots a lot more consistently. Does it? Well, here I can actually, I think I can share with you a little short from that. But let me know in the comments if you've used batch grade ammo and if you think you've noticed a difference, or if it's worth the price for you. If you think the extra price is worth the performance. But anyway, here's a little bit of a short from that. And I'm shooting it on my 7 here. So we got the CCI standard on the top, and we have the SK long range map on the bottom, and I'm shooting at 100 yards. And I've run a bore brush through the barrel twice before starting the tests, and then I warmed up and seasoned the barrel by zeroing out the scope, and you can see the shots on the big bullseye black round to see that I've shot about well over 10 shots before starting the test. But you can already see I've got a flyer on the CCI, and oh, that is a bad flyer on the CCI. Another bad flyer, worse than before. And this, as just from the first target, you can see the difference between the performance of the two. And of course, check out the full review video. I shoot a total of 4 different 5-round groups and see which one, at least in my particular rifle, and everybody's rifle is different. So which one performed better. Okay. Now, the video I posted on my Moondog Reviews channel, I've reviewed a new dash cam. It's a 4K dash cam, and this is probably the most expensive dash cam I've ever reviewed. Its retail price is street price is about $250. Yeah, $250 for a dash cam. And I personally run dash cams that are around $100 or just under $100 in general. I've run more expensive $150 dash cams, and yeah, the footage is slightly better, but I didn't think it justified the double the price of, say, a $75 or $80 dash cam. This one is a significant jump up at $250. It does come with a rear camera, but many of them do nowadays. It's 4K on the front and 2K in the back. And, you know, I'm not going to show the short on this, but check out the video on my Moondog Reviews channel, and you can get a much better view of the footage that you're getting. And this is from the front dash cam at 4K, driving around here in downtown San Francisco. Slightly rainy day, drizzly day, so you can see some of the performance. And I also got night footage on that. So check that out at Moondog Reviews. And on my Moondog Go channel, I posted a short video of my visit to the Art of Manga exhibit at the De Young Museum, which is the art museum or contemporary art museum, one of the contemporary art museums here in San Francisco. This one is in Golden Gate Park. And I'm a big fan. I'm a big geek. I'm a big fan of manga and anime. And you got to see the original artwork that the artists actually used to create the panels, the pages for their comics, for their manga. And you could see not only their sketches, you could see their pencils before they do the inks, and you could see their inks. It's so cool to see. They've actually, these are the actual drawings that they've made. And well, I wanted to make a video while I was there, but this is what happened. Let me bring this up. And that's the De Young Museum outside. Very kind of contemporary industrial. We're over at the De Young Museum for the Art of Manga exhibit here in San Francisco. And the museum's not even open, but of course there's a line of folks because we're all anxious to see the exhibit. And you do have to pay an extra fee to go see the exhibit over on top of your regular museum entrance fee. So, and you also had to make reservations. So we made the earliest reservation we could because I wanted to beat the lines and hopefully have a more time inside.
So you have to back sir?
Yeah. Yep. I was stopped at the entrance because I was holding the camera at the time, and they told me no. So they want us to share our visit of the Art of Manga, except that we're not supposed to take any video or photos inside of the exhibit. So what exactly are we sharing? Yeah, the guard told me that I can't take video inside the museum. Like, really? So I didn't. I turned it off, put my GoPro, sorry, my DJI pocket away. And then when I get inside, I see other people with their cameras out. I'm like, well, we were just told you can't. And it's not just one person. It was like a bunch of people taking video or taking. I mean, you can't. It's hard to tell if somebody's taking a photo or a video. But in any case, they were taking pictures of in the exhibits. Like, well, okay. So then I take my camera out, my pocket, and again, I started filming inside. And then again, I was told by another security guard inside, I can't take video or photos. So like, okay. And I didn't want to, be an asshole about it. So I put my stuff away, but there was a ton of other people in there. And then he went around, of course. He wasn't just singling me out. But yeah. And I get it. I get it. He said that it's because of copyright issues. And, the artists, this is the actual artist pieces, and they have the right to their artwork. And I'm cognizant of that as a professional in the graphic arts field, that they have a right. Absolutely, they get to decide who gets to make copies of their work, and there's fair use and whatever. But I gotta work and find out. I've sent an email out to the marketing department and the media department over at the De Young Museum. I did end up taking some footage in there, but I'm not going to publish it until I get a little more clarity about that. It seems that they were saying that I could take photos and video of the whole exhibit, but not of individual pieces. And I know that seems like an impossible task there, but basically I'm not supposed to take footage of any individual or very close that's good enough quality, clear enough quality that you could take a reproduction of the image I'm doing. But I can take a wide, pulled back a wider video or photos of the rooms. So I might end up doing that. In any case, let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more of that. Hopefully I'll get some permission from the De Young. We'll see how that goes. Okay. Moving on. I'm going to ask for your help in coming up with a thumbnail for one of the upcoming videos that's coming up that I'm going to be posting up next week or this coming week. And this is for a review video for the Midas Flash. This is the red dot that you see there. And of course I could just go with a thumbnail. This thumbnail with the headline Midas Flash 3 MOA. It's a 3 MOA red dot. And it's pretty pedantic, pretty straightforward, but maybe you can come up with a better answer. But here's the thing, since this is not a live show, don't post it. Well, you could post it on the side chat if you want, just share your thoughts. But what I'm going to ask you to do at the end of this particular video is, after the video's over, or after the live section, if you're watching this live, after the live is over, come back, go to the video and post it in the comments below the video. That's all. And that way I can see it later. And if you have any ideas of what would be a good headline for this particular video that's coming up. All right. So next clue in the Name the Brand contest that I'm do every week. Of course, the winner of this week's Name the Brand contest is going to have their choice. I'm going to pick 4 winners. Their choice of a Burris Fast Fire. Unfortunately, I don't have a patch for the Athlon Midas that you saw there, but this is another reflex sight. You can get this patch for the Burris Fast Fire, or your choice. If you don't particularly want that patch, you could also get an EVIC flag patch. Just let me know if you're a winner, which of the 2 you'd want. And the way you answer this question, usually I have it in a live, but obviously, like I said, this is not a live. This is a pre-recorded episode, even though you have the live chat section there. But just email me. Email me at contest@moondogindustries.com. And let me bring this up again. There you see it at the bottom there. Send me an email at contest@moondogindustries.com. Put in the correct answer. And here's the clue. Post in the correct answer in the subject line. And in the body of the email, put your mailing address so I can know where to mail these patches, and tell me which of the patches you want. So here's the clue. This comic book company was founded in 1937 and gets its name from what was its most popular series at the time, Detective Comics. So if you know who Detective Comics is, which comic book company this is, just put the name in the subject line and put your mailing address for your patch and in the body, and the first 4 correct answers that I get on email at contest@moondogindustries.com will get a patch, your choice of a Burris Fast Fire patch, or a flag patch. All right, or I might just give you guys both. How about that? How about that? I just give you both a flag patch and the Burris Fast Fire patch, so you have a patch that you can. There you go. Share the wealth. Okay. Now is the time when we get into the rabbit hole. So for that, I'm going to bump it over to my interview. All right, everyone. So this is the section of the show that I call the rabbit hole, where we go into things, interesting things, side topics, or whatever happens to catch my eye during the week. And today we're going to be talking about the LA ComicCon, which is a 3D 3-day expo in downtown LA. It encompasses several different genres, including not just comics, but horror, sci-fi, anime, gaming, and really it's about pop culture, because a lot of the things that I grew up, being labeled a geek or a nerd has really become much more normalized, or at least gone into the mainstream. I mean, heaven knows we all watch Marvel movies now, and you wouldn't when I was growing up, you wouldn't be proudly saying that you watch a comic book or a superhero movie. But anyway, so the LA Comic Con apparently is a fairly recent con in the realm of comics expos. It originally started as the Kamikaze Expo, I believe, in 2011. Now, I've never gone to the LA Comic Con, been to the ones in New York, but I have been to Comic Cons in LA back in the day before there was one called the LA Comic Con. There was one every month over at the Ambassador Hotel. I don't know if it eventually became WonderCon or if it was Wizards, but I used to go to Comic Cons expos every month back when I was in high school. But today we're going to be talking about the LA Comic Con, because it just went on in LA a few weeks ago. And I have a special guest who was at the con and has been going to the LA Comic Con for quite a number of years. So I'd like to introduce today my friend Robin Casares, who's a senior graphic designer. And I've known Robin even before she was when we were students in high school. That's how long we've been friends. But I'd like to bring today my guest, Robin. How are you, Robin?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you for having me.
No worries. Thanks for joining me. And we've known each other since, I can't believe it, since high school.
We met at my prom. My best friend, Julie, your girlfriend at the time, brought you to our prom.
And this was at Fairfax High School.
Fairfax High School, and our prom was, you mentioned the Ambassador Hotel, which I do remember the cons there. Our prom was at the Sheraton Grand in downtown LA.
And that was back when downtown LA was not a place you'd want to go to.
Downtown LA, an apocryphal story that I remember you telling me when you were at Art Center was that you had friends who had decided to go to downtown LA one night with a video camera, and shoot video down there. And back in the late 80s, you did not want to be in downtown LA at night with a very expensive video camera.
Yeah, it was very sketchy.
So yeah, super sketchy. But that is, so we have known each other for
a dog's age.
Don't make me do math, but almost 40 years at this point.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that brings us into stark reality.
We're both too young to have been friends for 40 years. But
absolutely,
that is the hard reality of it.
Well,
I'm happy to talk to you about geek stuff today, because
yes,
we are both big geeks.
Now, you've been going to the LA Comic Con since its inception?
I have, yes. 2011. It was in the parking garage at the LA Convention Center, because it was a new, untested con, and they did not know how well it was going to do. So it was very small.
Just in the parking garage.
It was down in the parking garage. They did not even put it in one of the halls, not even in the smaller hall of the convention center. They put it in the parking garage. So that was back in 2011. Yes, when it was Kamikaze.
Oh, okay. And let me pull up some of the slides that you shared. So this is the con now. It definitely looks a lot more like a big expo.
Well, what's funny is if you see the little tentacles on the side,
yeah,
the mascot used to be an octopus when it was Kamikaze. So they've kind of kept that design element in all of their signage and all of their branding. But but it is now. I don't know if you want to discuss the history of Comic-Con, but quickly, yes, it was Kamikaze back in 2011.
Now, is that sort of is there a name for the mascot? Is it like a play on otaku, or hopefully it's not about tentacle prawn?
No, it's what? That's a good question. It does have kind of a Cthulhu-esque kind of thing to it, but I don't know. It could be because again, like anime is a big part of the con too, so it could be a reference to that. But back then, I mean, it was just Kamikaze, and then it was Stan Lee's Kamikaze. Stan Lee came on partner about a year after the con started, in association with the owners of the original con. It was this woman named Regina Carpinelli, I believe is her last name, and she and her two brothers, just big geeks, decided to start this con. And it's always been a by fans for fans kind of con. Started very very grassroots, very homegrown kind of con to sort of compete against like the Comic-Con machine, San Diego Comic-Con, and like that was huge. And so they decided to start this, this much smaller sort of,
more authentic
kind of con to promote local artists in Los Angeles. And also obviously being in Los Angeles, they had access to a lot of the film industry content that is produced here too. So, but it became Stan Lee's Kamikaze in 2012. And he actually worked, with them and was at the con and was very, very visible part of the con until his death in 2018.
Yeah. And
and it actually at one point did become, so it was Kamikaze, then it was Stan Lee's Kamikaze, then it was Stan Lee's LA Comic-Con, and now it is just LA Comic-Con. But obviously, like you can see, the slide that you just pulled up here, this memorial wall, he was a huge part of the con and is very missed in that community and is very fondly remembered for, always being all about the fans. Like he loved his fans and he wanted this con to be, like I said, by the fans for the fans. And so, the people that run it now are trying to carry on that legacy that he started back in 2012.
Yeah, for the true believers.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, his ghost, the ghost of Stan Lee, is still everywhere at this con.
I hope they can keep it up. I mean, the one thing since you've been describing it, since I haven't been to it, I was always concerned that because it's of its close proximity to Hollywood, that it would get corrupted by the machine.
Yeah, it has stayed more of like, if you compare this to say San Diego Comic-Con or maybe some of the cons up north, this con does focus more on comics and on artists and on the kind of the local community. They do have like a celebrity presence, which I know we're going to talk about in a minute, but they have kept it very like Artist Alley is huge. And you don't see giant, like Marvel is not there with a booth half the size of the convention center.
Yes, I was going to ask if
companies really the presence there is not like it is at like San Diego Comic-Con. They don't have movie screenings, and it is more many of the panels are more industry focused. How to break into comics, how to write, time travel, how to do this. So it is more about the comics industry. It's kind of like getting back to its roots, whereas some of these cons are really more, they've gone more Hollywood and more like, hey, come see actually for San Diego Comic-Con, come wait in line for 2 days, get into Hall H to see this preview that you can see on YouTube because people are filming it on their phones.
right, and like you'll see this in an hour. So
Yeah, exactly. It's, somehow it always gets leaked out of Hall H onto YouTube in like an hour after, these people have camped out overnight to see this, new preview of this movie. So it is nice to, to see it more focused on the artist and the industry itself rather than, just being all about the Hollywood machine.
Absolutely. And, I'm going to have you back to talk about ComicCon, probably closer to June. But I mean, to talk about San Diego and just your experiences, because you've gone there. To be honest, I've never gone. Just all the years, even when I was living in LA, I never went down.
Now you probably can't because it's so impossible to get tickets now. That is something that is very interesting. The way acquiring tickets for San Diego Comic-Con has changed over the last 20 years. It's almost impossible to get tickets now. If you have not already been getting them for years, everything's got kind of a lottery system. And I'll show my age, because when I first started going to San Diego Comic-Con, I just walked in and bought a ticket and went to the con.
Yeah, I remember
back in the early 2000s. Like I honestly have not been there since pre-pandemic. Like 2019 was the last year that I went to San Diego Comic-Con, because once I didn't buy a ticket for a year, I was kind of like, good luck trying to get a ticket now, because you go into like the general sale day and you're sitting there in a waiting room and you have 15,000 people ahead of you trying to buy tickets. So
yeah, it's like going to a concert.
I mean, it sells out in like minutes. And then if you want a badge, you can find one, but you got to have a lot of money, because there are people that are reselling. And
okay, that's definitely sounds like going to a Taylor Swift concert now. Yeah.
Yes, it probably costs as much or more, because scalpers are getting, they know these are hot tickets, and so you will pay a lot for them.
Okay, well, let's leave that for next year.
That's a whole other conversation.
Yes. But so let's take a look at some of the things that you saw at the con. Now, of course, there are actual props and memorabilia from TV shows like Kit here from Knight Rider.
You could get inside you could take a picture at the wheel. They were letting people get inside the car and take pictures, which was cool. You can see the Jurassic Park Jeep in the background.
Oh yeah, hold on. Let me pull out the next slide with that. And there's memorabilia, actual like pop culture and TV shows that shows our age. This is Mork and Mindy kids. If you happen to be watching, have absolutely no idea what you're looking at the left.
Yes, and I know we are of the same generation, and I used to have a subscription to Dynamite magazine when I was a kid.
Me too.
This cover. Like, I wish I had kept those magazines, but I did actually, just to divert from it, I did actually get Robin Williams' autograph when I was a child. He was at an event. I think it was for the preschool that that my brother was going to at the time. And I don't know if he was a parent but he was there. So I do actually have an autograph from him way back from like probably the late 70s in my little autograph book. And he was delightful, from what I can remember as however old I was, 6 or 7 years old. But this was in the Mork and Mindy days. So he was like huge at that time. So it was really cool that I actually got to meet him as a kid, not remembering most of it, but I have a vague memory of it. And I remember him just being super sweet and nice and funny.
Now, is this what we're seeing here? Are his boots and gloves from his costume
from Mork and Mindy? Yeah, and they're signed by him as well.
Now, is this a table where the person's just showing off memorabilia, or is this where you can buy and sell?
They're not for sale. There is memorabilia available, but these were not for sale. I believe these are from somebody's private collection that they just had on display, but they were not for sale. I cannot even imagine how much they would want for this type of memorabilia.
Yeah, that's like the Christie's auction kind of thing.
Yeah.
Now, could you sit in the Jeep from Jurassic Park?
No.
Oh, okay.
The Kit car was the only one you could actually sit in. They had the Scooby-Doo van, and they had a few other, Herbie the Love Bug, the
Now
little
that's
Volkswagen. But no, Kit was the only one that you could actually sit in and take a photo.
Now there was a line to do that. Did you have to pay to?
That was free.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. It was just a free photo op.
That I like that. That you get a chance to interact with the things out there, and that's one of the one of the perks of being in LA is a lot of these things are just available because they're sitting in a lot,
Yes.
in the prop lot, and so they could talk to somebody at a studio or whatever. Or
for sure,
yeah.
Being in LA, they have access to a lot of memorabilia, props, sets, the actors themselves, like they're a lot of here. So yeah.
We'll get into that. Some of the celebrities.
We're gonna get into that in a minute.
So here are these. I could see that obviously the ones on the left, these are props, but they are reproduction props because obviously these were animated films. Well, not the Star Wars one, but I mean the WALL-E was never a live action. Though I'm expecting that live action WALL-E to be showing up in Disney in next year or something.
This is a prop builders group, and they're a staple at this show. And many of these are built from the ground up. Like these are guys who, and girls too, I'm sure, women, that are just that this is their hobby, is recreating these props. And I believe some of them are like 3D printed, others are just they just find these materials and they put these together, and they do work. Like they have remote controls, and they kind of like walk around the show with them, and kids love it because they can take a picture with their favorite robot. They do have one that's specifically Star Wars. Like there was an R2-D2 walking around.
Oh yeah, I can see it behind the guy on the right there.
Okay, it's back there. And and they're fully functional. They make noise. They light up. They are they're pretty incredible. They're like elite prop makers. These guys have like every detail like screen accurate, and it's kind of crazy.
Just the scale of it is also impressive.
Yeah.
Now
they're full size compared to the size they would be in the movie.
Now the one on the right, I don't know if that's from the new Superman movie. I haven't seen it, to be I'm embarrassed to say.
I don't think it was actually in the movie. I did see it, and now I'm trying to remember. They did. You know what? It actually might have been the final scene. I don't want to spoil anything.
Okay.
But might have been in there. But I mean, in the movie, he has like an actual dog.
Yeah, the real Crypto.
Yeah.
But also I saw they had robot servants and at the Fortress of Solitude.
The Fortress of Solitude. This might have been in the Fortress of Solitude.
And now, was this an actual? Because was this? Did they take one of those new robot dogs and just put a cape on it or reskin it, or did they build this? Is this
you know what? I don't know for sure. This might have been 3D printed, or this might have been where they just took one of those robot dogs and just turned it into like Super Dog.
Yeah, those are quite impressive. When you actually have you seen the?
I have seen the actual robot dog, and this could be one of those.
And they're also kind of frightening, considering the drone warfare nowadays. The videos you're seeing from like Ukraine or whatever, like it is Skynet is definitely going to be coming for us.
If it stands up on its two back legs, run away. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely. All right, and you're talking about Artist Alley. So this, I'm assuming, is the Artist Alley from the expo on the left.
This is Artist Alley, and like I was saying before about how the originally back in 2011 it was all in a parking garage. Well, Artist Alley was in the parking garage this year because it has just outgrown the main convention hall. This Artist Alley is huge.
Yeah, it looks it.
There were probably hundreds of artists there, and like the guy on the right. And many artists too. They draw while they're there, so you can actually like watch them, from start to finish, like complete an artwork. And they take commissions, and they will also like do artwork.
Oh yeah, that's for those of you who've never been to a con. Not only can you buy original artwork created by these artists, but if you could ask them, let's say if your favorite superhero was Spider-Man, and you could not only could you just ask them like, could you make a Spider-Man for me, but you could ask them, can you draw Spider-Man in a spacesuit? And they charge. They usually will say how much they're going to charge for it, but you could have that drawing and have, different price tiers, like whether or not it's going to be full color or just or the size of it.
Yeah, you get a pencil sketch, you can get a charcoal, you can get a full color, and depending on how busy they are, they will offer those services. They will draw. You want to be drawn as Spider-Man, they can do that.
Oh yeah, it's a little cheesy, but yeah,
you're into that. Hey, maybe it's for a kid.
Oh, true. How many kids were there versus adults at the expo?
Well, this is a family-friendly convention, and they advertise it as such. So there were a lot of kids there. If I remember correctly, like kids 12 and under are free to get in.
Oh, even more reason to see see kids.
So you see a lot of families, and in past years they have actually had like, Sunday is Kids Day, and like all the panels are geared towards kids programming or stuff that kids would enjoy. The con was earlier than normal. Like usually it's run anywhere from the end of October into December.
Oh yeah, because this is way early then. Yeah, end of September.
Really early. I don't know why, but normally it's like towards the end of October, or it's been as late as December. But like the years that it has been going on, like over Halloween weekend, they give candy to all the vendors, and like kids can trick or treat there, and they have like a costume contest, and specifically for kids, because they do also have like a cosplay contest, which we'll get into that, but they have like a costume contest for kids, and it really it's geared towards being very family friendly.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's great. Now the artist alley, I mean, it looks huge. I mean, it looks like the size of a football field. Is it really? How big was it? Would you say?
Oh, I mean, like it was the one entire level of the parking garage.
So okay.
It was quite a few aisles with maybe 20 booths per aisle. So I mean, there were like hundreds of artists there.
Now, what was I don't know if you're at liberty to say. Do you remember how much it was to get tickets?
My friend actually bought me my badge, but if I remember correctly, a weekend badge was about $150.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
not super.
And bear in mind, this is 3 days, folks. So
it's it's Friday. They do like a Friday afternoon, evening. Like it opens in the afternoon and runs till like 9 o'clock at night, and then Saturday and Sunday are the normal like 10 to 6 on Saturday, and then like 11 to 5. So it is a 3-day, but they do actually offer VIP badges, and then they offer a VVIP badge, which is concierge service the whole time you're there, and just a lot of other perks. And I personally don't know anyone that has bought a VVIP badge, but they do offer it. So there's like any other con, there's tiers of badge prices, with most people opting for the general admission, which is
but this is that, and in the context of modern big cons like this, that's $50 a day is to be expected, but certainly a far cry from the $5 to go to the comic expos when I was in high school.
Well, and also being able to just walk in and buy your ticket and go to a con, like that's what I remember back in the day, and it was like $10 or $5 to get in or whatever. So this isn't San Diego Comic-Con, where the prices are much more expensive for that con, if you can even get a ticket. But but this one, again, it goes back to the whole idea that this is for locals, and this is creating community, so they want it to be more affordable, especially for families to be able to bring their children.
And so for artists, and just the artist alley, just for artists, or were also people selling collectibles and memorabilia?
It's just for artists. I mean, they're selling their own work, but the memorabilia and that type of stuff is up in the main hall.
Okay.
Yeah, this is just for small independent artists. So you do have some larger, like you do have some booths that are on the main floor that are selling art, but it tends to be like larger companies or, you know, more established artists. Like these are mostly emerging artists and local, you know, small creators are what's in Artist Alley, as opposed to the larger, more corporatized booths that are up on the main floor.
Right. So here's some examples of some created pieces, like the little crochet figures from Star Trek and Below Decks. I thought was super cute. That somebody made.
Well, excuse me, Lower Decks.
Lower Decks, sorry.
Yeah, and then you have the Severance on the other side, which is a personal favorite of mine, as we will discuss a little bit more. This person sold a lot of Severance artwork. And I do think it's kind of interesting that these artists can sell some licensed artwork. I think they're kind of flying under the radar.
Yeah, I think I'm sure.
You know, because they are small independent artists, they can get away with that because, you know, I don't think like Disney would let, or I know they don't let artists sell any license, you know, Disney, but the Star Trek stuff, you know, in this case, the Severance stuff, I think it kind of flies under the radar because they are very small independent artists. And so they can get away with it.
Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, you'll start seeing cease and desist letters flying after the cons.
Yeah. So I asked a vendor once because she was selling soaps, like Haunted Mansion soaps.
Oh.
And I said, how do you get away with, you know, not getting a cease and desist from Disney? And she's like, I fly under the radar. Like they don't, I'm too small for them to care about. So I can do this. But, you know, she's like, if I ever got really big, they probably would send me at that point.
So speaking of big names and Marvel, one of the other big attractions at the cons is the panels of celebrities or the notable people, either the artists or in this case, actual movie stars and celebrities. Elizabeth Olsen, who's the Scarlet Witch from Marvel and the whole Avengers. And also her own spin-off show, was it? I'm blanking now. WandaVision.
WandaVision.
Yes,
which I loved, by the way. I love WandaVision.
Yeah, I liked that. Was probably one of the better. Yeah, man. I want to get into the weeds of this.
Another geek conversation.
So, did you go to the talk? What was Elizabeth Olsen? Was she there to promote any specific show or movie that was coming out?
Oh, she was just kind of discussing Marvel and various other projects. She was like the headliner of the show. And I will say she was offering autographs and photo ops, and she was charging and apparently was getting $300 for a photo.
Wow.
Yeah. You know, the photo ops are professional photos. You know, it's where you go into a special area. There's a backdrop. You know, the celebrity is standing there. There's a professional camera, and you essentially step in. You take your photo. You get about 5 seconds with the person, and then you move on, and they bring the next. It's sort of like an assembly line.
Yeah.
So I personally don't do a lot of photo ops because you don't get to talk to the people at all. You just get but for people who want a professional photo, you know, they will pay it. And apparently she was asking $300 and getting $300 per photo.
Wow.
So, like, yeah, that's a sweet gig right there. Just
absolutely.
Stand there and take photos with fans and, you know, $300 a pop. But yeah, so obviously she was very popular.
So she was the headliner.
She was the. I mean, there were a few.
Yeah, we've got. Let me bring up some other panels that.
She was one of the biggest draws for this particular con.
And then we have. Is that Bryce Howard?
Bryce Dallas Howard. Yes, she was also a headliner. You know, again, talking about some of her like directorial experiences and acting and just kind of generally what she's been up to. But also, I did want to point out too that like at LA Comic Con, the celebrity panels are in the vendor room. Like they have a main stage in the vendor room. And so they're up on stage doing these panels. The other panels, the more industry related panels, are off in ballrooms and in separate areas. But like the celebrities, they do bring up on this very large stage. And
so it's in the main room.
Walking by can stand and watch these panels rather than like, I guess, trying to cram everyone into a ballroom or something. They just do them like on stage in the hall where everyone is just kind of walking by.
Well, that is just, it's pluses and minuses. I mean, I can totally see it's great because everybody in a sense has access from everywhere in the hall.
Yeah, I like it is good for visibility, I guess. Like everyone can see what's going on and you don't have to wait in line, and you don't have to camp out overnight like at San Diego Comic-Con.
Now, in terms of
all H panel,
audio wise, could you hear what they were saying?
You can if you are by the stage.
Okay.
Like I think one of the downsides is audio quality isn't great because you're just in this big open space with speakers. So that is one of the downsides, is if you're not kind of close to that area, it's like you can't hear if you're walking around another part of the vendor room, because the vendor room is also huge.
Okay.
I believe they were, God, I don't even know how many aisles, but there were a lot. I think there were 20. It went from like 1,000 to 2,000 something. Like each aisle is numbered.
Okay.
So it was big. It's the main hall at the LA Convention Center, so it's football field size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, is it like does it have just booths of people selling their comic book collections like a traditional comic expo or con, or is that?
I'm sorry.
Oh, where people are just bringing the boxes of where you could buy old vintage issues of something.
They definitely have that. I mean, the con floor is broken up kind of by theme.
Mm-hmm.
So you have the old school comic book dealers with the bins where you can every comic $12. Like you can go through that. They have a gaming area. They have like a very large gaming area towards the back of the con.
Is that video games or tabletop?
No, it's video art. What's the word I'm looking for? Like multi, what's the word I'm looking for? The multiplayer online MMORG.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not a gamer. That's very.
Well, I was your gamer friend.
But yeah, you're the gamer. I'm not a gamer, so I don't really go into that area. But I mean, they do have tons of like, they're like stations set up where you can play all these games, and there's merchandise and there's other stuff, but like that's the whole very popular area at the con. And then they have areas for like more like memorabilia. They have people who are selling clothing. They have the fan table area, which are like the smaller fan groups.
Okay.
Well, I used to help run a GI Joe Cobra.
Yeah, you were the Baroness.
I was Baroness, and so that's how I got into going to the con in the first place, because they were free. They were like free fan tables, and I am friends with people who are in like Star Trek, Doctor Who, various fandoms.
Oh, speaking of Doctor Who,
there you go.
There you go.
Even Tennant and Billy Piper were both there as well.
Who
and some of the other people from Doctor Who, some of the other
okay.
But they were, they're kind of the main draw.
Did our mutual friend Dave go there?
Huh?
Did our mutual friend Dave Gallen, was he there for that?
I didn't see him.
Oh, okay. He's a big Doctor Who geek, so he often goes to cons just for the Doctor Who cons.
Oh, so, okay. Yeah, Galfrey 1. That's another LA based con that they have every year at I believe it's at the Marriott, LAX Marriott. but that is also a 3-day just Doctor Who. Well, it is Doctor Who, but like my Star Trek group is also there because there's a lot of crossover between
Yeah.
fandoms. But yeah, but that is like the big Doctor Who con. I think it's in February of it'll be in February of next year.
What's sort of great about the cons is everybody who's into geeky stuff, it tends to be a little bit more have experienced being a social outcast at some point in their life. But what's great is that there's usually no animosity between different fandoms.
Well, I don't know. I don't know,
well,
Tom. There's the Star Wars, Star Trek thing.
I was gonna say, except for
which is so dumb. I mean, again, we could have a whole conversation about this, but like, I am both. I grew up both, and I am a lover of both Star Wars and Star Trek. I will say, I don't want to start drama here, but I will say the Star Wars fandom can be a little more toxic at times. But we also have toxic people in Star Trek fandom. But but I don't understand the animosity between the two fandoms because they are two such different things that they can both exist, and there are many of us who are fans of both franchises.
Yeah, I think South Park probably encapsulated that the best in terms of how the two fandoms interact with each other.
I don't know if I've seen that specific interaction.
Well, you should YouTube that clip. Just you'll totally you'll get it.
Of course, then there was also William Shatner on Saturday Night Live.
Yes, yeah. That's
Star Trek fans to get a life and get out of their parents' basement.
Oh, okay. So speaking of, I saw that on your Facebook. Michael Ironsides was at the con.
Yes, that's okay to discuss on this podcast.
Well, I think one or two words are fine. So for those of you who, I don't have a slide of this, but Michael Ironsides.
You've seen him in 200 different things.
Starship Troopers. He was the drill sergeant.
Total Recall.
Scanners. He was the villain in that.
Sequest. He was the captain on Sequest. He's been in like a million different. He never, ironically, never Star Trek. He's never been in Star Trek, and this is what led to this conversation that we had. So Michael Ironside was there. He is a riot. I've met him at other cons too. A very personable guy. Also has zero filter. And we walk up to his area where he's signing autographs and taking photos. And it was with a couple of friends of mine, and we were in our Star Trek uniforms. And we said hello, and he kind of looks at us and he's like, "Oh, Star Trek. I was never in that franchise. William Shatner is a cunt." And then he kind of looks at us, and we just laughed, and we're like, "Well, I kind of have to agree." Like,
maybe that's why he was never in the franchise. It's probably he said that more than once.
In like one movie together, apparently back in the 70s, where Michael Ironside was playing a serial killer, and William Shatner was a talk show host. Like, Michael Ironside was the star of the movie. William Shatner was not. So I don't know if something happened. Honestly, I tried to get the tea on this. I actually went down a Google rabbit hole trying to find out, feud between Michael Ironside and William Shatner.
Did you find anything?
I couldn't find anything.
Okay.
I found one video of somebody else talking about how they met Michael Ironside, and he said William Shatner was an a-hole. So apparently he does not hold back about how he feels about William Shatner. I don't know what originated this beef that they have, and William Shatner being the person, he probably doesn't even remember Michael Ironside at all because he's William Shatner, and he's also 95 years old now.
Oh, that's right. They just announced that he had his birthday recently, right?
Yeah. He is booked to be at the STLV, the Star Trek convention in Vegas, which is like the biggest Star Trek convention in the country. He is booked for next year because it's the 60th anniversary of Star Trek.
Oh, okay.
1966 to 2006. And he is booked as a guest. He will be 96 years old.
Oh.
So, I'll cross our fingers that he will make it to the 60th anniversary. There's only, there are only 3 remaining cast members of the original series. There's him, there's George Takei, the Sulu, and Walter Koenig.
Yes, yeah.
They're the only ones left.
I got to meet, and I think I got a signature from Michael Doohan.
Yes.
at one of the
Wait,
con.
Michael is James Doohan's son?
Sorry, James Doohan.
Doohan. Okay.
Um,
Because he
at,
died in like 1999 or something.
yeah. So this was,
Time ago.
I think, over at the Anaheim ComicCon that he was the headliner for that, and there were quite a number of secondary stars from the original series that would show up at the Anaheim cons.
Oh yeah, and
yeah.
they still do. I mean, there's a con called the Hollywood Show here in LA.
Oh,
That is all old stars from like the 70s and 80s who are, still cashing in on that one episode of the Love Boat they did 40 years ago. It's great to meet some of them. They're all super pleasant and fun, and I have met a few of the other like guest stars from the original series. I actually met at one of the, I don't remember if it was at LA Comic Con, but oh my God, I'm blanking on his name. Bobby something. He played the Gorn in the very famous scene.
Oh, and yeah.
And I have a picture of him where I'm, like.
So he was the guy in the suit?
He was the guy in the suit. Yeah. Such a sweet guy. Just stood and took like a million photos with my friends and I, and we pretended we were like fighting the Gorn, and he was totally into it. It's like
that's awesome.
Totally, like this was a high point in my career, and I'm gonna trade in on that for as long as I can. But
why not? Why
yeah,
not?
Yeah.
You know what? I one of these days I would love to do. I was thinking of doing one of my live shows about the Love Boat show.
Oh, that would be fun.
But it's like I'm gonna have to do a deep dive into like trivia and lore of that show, because I was
oh my God, I mean, so many people were on the Love Boat, so many actors of that time. Everyone it was like that in Fantasy Island.
Yes,
everybody had a guest spot on those shows.
So if you ever run into any stars who that you could connect me with for that show, maybe I'll put together something. But I was thinking about, I think there's a new ad campaign for Princess Cruise Lines, and I heard the theme song again. They're using it, or a version of it, for the commercials. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that show fondly for that.
Using a version of the Love Boat theme.
Yeah, they're using it for the new ad campaign for Princess Cruise Lines.
So. I mean, it was Princess Cruise Lines that.
It was like basically a 1 hour commercial for Princess Cruise Lines.
Yeah, it kind of was. Yeah. But I mean, come on, we all, as a girl, we all wanted to be Julie, the cruise director. Like, what an awesome job to just like be on a cruise ship all the time and get to, do nothing but direct social activities. I mean,
who are the other characters of the show? Gopher?
Isaac was the bartender.
Oh yeah, Isaac was so cool.
Doc was the doctor. Captain
Stubing, yes.
There is a group of friends of mine who do, I think they call it like Love Trek or something. They have the Love Boat.
They do a mashup.
They did, and it's a mashup with like a Star Trek uniform, but they're all shirts, like short sleeve shirts. And one of my friends is the captain. He's got the hat with like a Star Trek Delta on it, and it's like Love Trek or something, the Trek ship or something like that. It's really funny.
Well, we got to do I've got to do a cosplay show just with you, and you got to dig up photos of that.
I can get tons of photos from all of my friends. I mean, I'm in a local Star Trek. The LAOA team is our local Star Trek group, and many of us are cosplayers. And many of my friends have come up with the most inventive mashup cosplays that are Star Trek and something else. So I've got tons of photos. I mean,
yeah. And speaking of which, let's, I'm mindful of the fact that I would only ask you to be on for half an hour, but we've blown way past that time. But let me.
If you need to wrap it up, we can move quickly through the rest of these.
Yeah, let's get into the cosplays, because you took a lot of photos of the cosplays that were there. So we have Disney Tiana, and we have
the Rubik's Cube. This kid was so cute.
That is great costume. It's perfect for this time of year, because you can prep for Halloween.
Oh yeah. And
I'm impressed that he got the Superman costume together,
This
that
guy was a
recently.
great Superman. I mean, he's got the look too. He's got
That,
the blue eyes and the hair and the costume, and really pretty spot on Superman.
and this is pretty elaborate on the right. For those of you who don't know, this is the Hatbox Ghost
Yes.
from the Haunted Mansion at Disney.
Yeah, really well done.
And I love that.
This was just like so silly. Yeah, this guy was like a lightsaber. Like he dressed up as a lightsaber.
Now, how did he get through a lot of the? I mean,
I only saw him out in the lobby, like where you can see it's a very vaulted ceiling. I don't know if he could walk around the show floor with it. Although, I mean, there's a vaulted ceiling in there, and there's really high ceilings in there too.
I suppose he could deflate it, because I'm assuming it's an inflatable top. But
I mean, I think he could walk through the show floor like this, but I don't know if he would want to. That's because I don't know what the visibility was in this costume.
Oh, true. Well, we'll get into more. And speaking of awkwardly sized costumes, we'll get into some photos of that in a bit. In this here we got Daft Punk. Was she doing a version of the Wasp, or
I think it's Wasp? Yeah.
Or I was going to say it was one of the Pixies from Disney, but I wasn't.
I think it's Wasp. I think it was supposed to be Wasp. Yeah, and then you got the Daft Punk guys, which they were fun.
My son went as and his friend went as Daft Punk.
Oh, that's awesome.
Those helmets are not cheap.
No, and they are actually they had a whole area that was like their like horror area this year. It was like its own thing, and it was there were vendors in there selling all sorts of spooky stuff, and they had like mazes to walk through.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they did this like whole horror area, which was very cool. I've never seen that there before.
All right, when we have Alphabet from Wicked, and is he doing the character from The Office? I mean, not The Office, Office Space.
I've seen Office Space, yeah.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know, Google Office Space, a great comedy written by Mike Judge, who created Beavis and Butthead
and King of the Hill.
Oh yeah, that's true. You know, I have to catch the new ones.
It's really good. I watched it. I really enjoyed it.
You know what? I didn't like the King of the Hill when it first came out, but watching it in reruns later, it's so prophetic.
It is.
Yeah. Anyway,
it's one of my comfort shows, so I know King of the Hill like the back of my hand. But and I was dubious about a reboot or of anything like that. Because nostalgia is a hell of a drug. Like you watch something 20 years ago and then they do an update and you're like, ooh, this wasn't good. Like we didn't need to see these characters grow old and whatever. But it's actually very very well written and I enjoyed it. And apparently it's going to get another season.
Oh, that's good. Okay, I've got that on my watch list along with like tons of anime. This I thought was just so super cute and hilarious. Great interpretation of Patrick from SpongeBob.
And the guy, just his expression too, it was funny. He was just kind of like, just stood there and was like, "Yeah, okay." It was very Patrick.
I might just bite this for next Halloween. I think that's a great way to do that. And Beetlejuice, family Beetlejuice
family with the little kid. This kid did not know what was going on, obviously, but
that's a great if you have kids. You can force them to be in costume and they just don't know.
Family cosplay at this con is great. I mean, some of these people go all out. I saw some amazing family, like full family cosplays. It's really a lot of fun.
And as I was mentioning about elaborate costumes, this person was how tall on stilts that? Like maybe 15 feet tall?
15 feet? Yeah.
And this Hawkman, are those wings on him?
They're on him and they are retractable, like they open and close.
Wow.
This guy is actually a friend of mine and he is like a master prop maker. He's done some absolutely incredible cosplays. He actually also has sometimes has a Hawk Girl with him too. It's another friend of ours who's got the same, she's Hawk Girl and she's also got the giant things that open and close. But he's made a lot of really incredible props.
That's amazing. Does he do that just as a hobby, or does he? I mean, because it's LA, there's a lot of people who actually work in the industry, obviously. who have either work at a place or have
No,
experience
I
doing
mean,
that.
he doesn't do it. I think he takes commissions. He doesn't work at a prop house, as far as I know. I know he has designed things for other people, and he probably does take commissions. But I mean, he's got a day job, so this is just a hobby. But he has taken this particular cosplay, this Hawkman, to a lot of different cons, and he has won a lot of costume contests with this outfit.
That does not surprise me. I mean, that is a very elaborate wing setup. I was thinking, like, is he just standing in front of wings that are
they are actually attached, and he's got, I don't know if he has the parrot on his shoulder too, but he has a parrot that also moves. Like it sits on his shoulder.
Was it a parrot? I mean, the Hawkman had a hawk, but was it
okay, maybe it's a hawk.
Okay, well,
it's like a parrot.
Okay.
I guess it's a Hawkman would have a hawk.
I mean, but I was wondering if when you're saying does he have a parrot, did he bring like a live cockatoo or something, or was it a
no? I mean, it's like an animatronic, like
okay, yeah,
hawk, not parrot. That's
yeah.
Shoulder, and will like move around and like reach out to people. And
that is cool. Okay,
yeah.
If when I do a cosplay episode, maybe we'll reconnect before the next con. But if you have any video footage from the cons of these things articulating, or any of your friends in costumes,
you can probably find something on YouTube, because I'm like I said, he's been in a lot of costume contests, and of course he comes out and opens up these giant wings, and everyone's like,
yeah, it's like game over. He's give him the prize.
Everyone else go home. This guy nailed it.
Awesome. And of course, speaking of cosplays, you're dressed here. I first thought it was you were maybe doing an X-Files Scully and Mulder, but no, it's Severance that you're doing.
Severance. It is. I mean, my friend does not look like the actor from Severance, but I was doing a Helly cosplay, which if Helly R cosplay, which if you are a Severance fan, you would know that character. And the book is there's a character on the show who is like this really kind of woo-woo self-help guy, and he wrote this book, and that's kind of a major plot point. So I actually found someone in a prop forum who had created the book cover in like a style.
Okay.
So I just printed it out and like wrapped a book so I could walk around with that. And there were a couple people that were like, "Oh my God," they saw the book and then they're like, "Oh, you're doing Severance." So if you've not watched Severance, I highly recommend it. It won a ton of Emmys this year. It is incredible. It just finished season 2, and we fans waited a long time for season 2. Season 1 was like 2021, and then with the pandemic and everything, the writer's strike, we waited like 3 years for season 2, and now they've already been renewed for season 3. So Apple TV, great show. Yeah, and then on the right, we just did some silly photos in our Star Trek costumes on Sunday because they had a photo booth.
Awesome. Well, like I said, I definitely want to have you on. I've been thinking about doing a cosplay episode for a while, and of course, you were the first person that I was thinking of having as a guest on this. But I don't know when we'll figure out a good date for you to come on and do a live segment.
Yeah,
so
I would love to. I would love to talk cosplay, because I have been doing it for quite a while now, probably since 2009. I think 2008, 2009. So I got a late start, but I have now been doing it for quite. I didn't start cosplaying until I was in my 40s. I know. I don't look it. It's all right. It's fine.
Of course, yeah.
But that is also something to discuss with cosplay. Is being an older cosplayer has
that's true.
Its own unique challenges.
That and cosplaying as something that you don't necessarily look like. Yeah. So, and I mean, we'll save it for that segment. But I'm really appreciative of you spending the time talking about the ComicCon the LA ComicCon that just came out. And I'm sorry it went much longer than that I had anticipated, but I enjoyed every minute.
Oh, me too. I'm a talker, so if you have me on here, I'm going to talk. You can edit it down.
No, I'm not going to take anything out. Anyway, folks, we'll continue on. Just stay tuned, and we're going to do the giveaway. All right, folks. So let's get on to that as I mentioned in the video, and we'll get on to the giveaways, the contests that we have every week. So let me just add to the stage here. For the contests, what I want you to do is one of the every month I give I've been doing a giveaway. And you can find details of that at moondogindustries.com/contest. And last week I gave away a 60 power scope. So check out this month's giveaway, which is this Pro Hear FRS radio adapter for Pro Hear headsets, as well as it's also compatible with Howard Light Impact Sports headsets. You can get one free, or you can win one if you enter the contest. That is sponsored by Pro Hear. And if you even if you don't win something in the contest, well, you have an opportunity to get something. I'm also sponsoring a fundraiser for the St. Anne Middle School, and if you make a donation to the fundraiser for an amount that I've listed on 3 items that I'm giving away as promotional incentives. So if you donate that amount, and you claim one of those items, well, you're essentially getting a top-notch accessory that I've reviewed for half the price. So in this case, one of the items I'm giving away right now, let me just see how much, so I can look on there myself. Well, right now there's the 2,000 lumen light there that you see, and that is from Monstrum, and I reviewed that. That is that's their Raider X1, and it's a rechargeable weapon light. And right now, if you donate, say for example, in that case, $40, you can get that light. You got to be the first one to claim it though, and as long as you make that donation to the fundraiser, you can claim that particular. Or there's a couple of other items I have down there, so check that out at moondogindustries.com/yard sale. And then finally, the contest where you could win something for free. Well, you could win, let me just zoom in on this. You could win a Burris Fast Fire patch and a EVIC patch by being one of the first four people to correctly answer this mystery brand. And here's your clue. This 2-letter name for a comic book company, they essentially invented the superhero with notable characters such as Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, and The Flash. So if you know this comic book company and their name, what I want you to do is send an email to contest@moondogindustries.com and put in the body of the email your mailing address, and put in as the subject line hashtag and the name of this mystery brand, and you are eligible. The first 4 to send me the correct answer at contest@moondogindustries.com will win it. So that's it for the show today. Let me wrap things up by reminding you that this is the video that's going to be coming up next week, and that I'm looking for some ideas for a headline, a title for this thumbnail. If you can come up with a good thumbnail idea, post it in the comments after this video is over, after the live is over. I posted it in the comments in the YouTube video, and if it's good and I get a lot of likes, if at least a couple of likes on your suggestion, then I will include it in as the thumbnail for an upcoming video. So don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell button. So if you haven't already, especially a like, much appreciated. Anyway, tune in next week. And again, I'd like to thank my guest, Robin, for joining me and talking about the ComicCon today. All right, everybody, you be safe out there. God bless. Moondog out. Hey, I'd like to know what you thought of this video. Leave me a comment or chat with me on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, MeWe, Instagram, or Locals. And if you want to see all of my videos, go to moondogindustries.com.